Defining functions. Broadly speaking, JavaScript has four kinds of functions. Regular function can return anything, always runs to completion after invocation. Generator function returns a generator object, can be paused and resumed with the GL operator. Async function returns a promise, can be paused and resumed with the await operator. Async generator function returns an async generator object. Both the await and GL operators can be used. For every kind of function, there are three ways to define it. We have the declaration, and the declaration we have the function asterisk, async function asterisk, and here you have the links so you can read more about them. We have the expression, and again we have the function asterisk, async function asterisk, and the constructor. And we have the function here with parentheses, generator function with parentheses, async function, and the async generator function. In addition, there are special syntaxes for defining arrow functions and methods, which provide more precise semantics for their usage. Classes are conceptually not functions because they throw an error when called without the keyword new, but they also inherit from the function.prototype and have type of my class is equal to the string function. And here we have examples of the constructor, of the declaration, and some expressions. So here we have a constructor, we use the keyword const, and we have this constant name multiply, and we assign it to this new function, and inside of the parentheses we're gonna have three arguments, and they're gonna be strings: the string x, the string y, and the string return the multiplication of x and y. We have here a declaration, so we have a function name multiply, and you have the parameters or arguments x and y, and inside of the curly braces we are gonna return the multiplication of the parameters x and y. No need for semicolon here. So here we have another expression. The function is anonymous but assigned to a variable. So we have the constant declaration name multiply is gonna be assigned to this function that has no name, but in the parentheses it has two arguments or two parameters. Inside of the curly braces we're gonna return it. We're gonna return the multiplication of the two parameters x and y. Here we have another expression. The function has its own name, so we have the constant declaration name multiply, we assign it to the function name func name, and the parentheses we have the parameters x and y, and we're gonna return the multiplication of the parameters x and y. Now here we have an example of the arrow function. We use the keyword const, we name it multiply, and now here we have the arrow function, and to the left of the arrow sign we have the parentheses with the parameters x and y or the arguments, and to the right side of the arrow sign we have the multiplication of the parameters x and y. Here we have the method, so we have a constant name obj, short for object, and we declare it to an object with a function that has parameters x and y, and inside of the curly braces we are going to return the multiplication of the parameters x and y. We close the curly braces of the function multiply, and then we close the curly braces of the object obj. All syntaxes do approximately the same thing, but there are some subtle behavior differences. The function constructor, the function expression, and the function declaration syntaxes create full-fledged function objects which can be constructed with the keyword new. So if you want to read about it, you have here the new operator. However, arrow functions and methods cannot be constructed. Async functions, generator functions, and async generator functions are not constructible regardless of syntax. The function declaration creates functions that are hoisted. Other syntaxes do not hoist the function, and the function value is only visible after the definition. The arrow function and the function constructor always create anonymous functions, which means they cannot easily call themselves recursively. One way to call an arrow function recursively is by assigning it to a variable. The arrow function syntax does not have access to arguments or the keyword this. The function constructor cannot access any local variables and only has access to the global scope. The function constructor causes runtime compilation, and it is often slower than other syntaxes.